Good afternoon and welcome to Padre's Ponderings after a week off.
A week off,
Have a little break.
I see your little thing there.
I know.
Got mine too, got it in my pocket.
Yeah,
Hope I'm going to be able to throw it away soon.
Well, Beaufort County voted. Their last day is the 15th, which is Thursday, I think.
This 15th or May 15th?
No, April, this week.
Really?
Mm-hmm. I could be wrong on that, but that is the headline I saw. But you know, you really should read further than the headline.
Well, what about Bluffton?
They vote tonight.
Whoa.
So, we will see.
Did they say about social distancing?
Again, I didn't read. I just saw the headline and moved on with my day.
You know, there's
yeah.
Perhaps some substance underneath that.
That's true. I know, you're not supposed to read headlines, you're supposed to read the content.
Yeah, that's like looking at the title of the book and think you've read
multiple, the book. and read multiple versions of the same headline.
Always good in this day and time.
To get the truth.
Multiple versions. Yeah, yes. You look at the book titles, that doesn't Tale of Two Cities, you wouldn't have a clue what all that's about.
True.
So try to read through. Mama always, when she read a book, read the last chapter first.
Are you serious?
She read the last chapter first. And I said, Mom, why do you do that? She said, because if I don't like the way it ends, I'm not going to read the rest of
it. That's hysterical. Oh, do you know that
saved you a lot of time reading.
This weekend would have been her 100th birthday. She's the same age as Prince Philip. She was the same age as Prince Philip.
Yep.
That is so funny. Now see, I never knew that.
A little pearl of wisdom right there.
I don't.
Anybody? Yeah, I've never heard of that before. You know, that'd be like going to the movie and come in 10 minutes before the first show is over with, and if you don't like how it ends, then you leave. But if you like how it ends, then you
stay for the next show and cheat.
You know, golly day.
That's funny.
That's the way she handled things. Yeah. She was a steward of time.
Yes. Well, you look a little rested. A little.
Perhaps. Yeah.
So you had some R&R after a very busy week.
But Easter worked out. I thought Easter worked out.
It did.
And was very blessed. Really kind of overwhelmed by the response to that sunrise service.
I know.
You know, we didn't know what to expect in the COVID times and set up 300 chairs out there, and golly day, people just kept on coming. You know, filled it up. So that's a good sign, you know, that when we get through this COVID stuff. But you know, I was talking to a friend in Ireland yesterday. Got an email from him. Talked to him a couple of weeks ago, and they were just this past week have been able to open up to very limited. Their church has been shut slap down since this thing started. They've had multiple outbreaks in Ireland, so they just got to open up the church to very, very, very small group of people. And what happened? All the riots and violence started in Ireland again.
Oh.
Been going on for centuries. Don't know whether that was hooked up to maybe something to do with Prince Philip's dying or something like that. He was near death or he hadn't died yet. And the IRA killing would be his grandfather, I guess.
Yes, that was in this past season of The Crown.
Just goes on and on and on. Been going on so long. I was over there, it's been maybe 5-6 years ago now, doing some work in downtown Belfast. Was staying with the rector and his family. Was there for a week, real special time. And we were at the dinner table eating, and I heard an explosion, and nobody batted an eye. And I said, "What was that?" And his wife said, "That was a bomb going off." I mean, they didn't put down their fork. They just kept right on the potatoes and mash is what they call it. Right on with it. I mean, just so commonplace. The child had never played outside.
And that's the reality for a lot of places around the world.
Oh, golly day. Mm-hmm. Ride through and see that divider between the parts of Belfast and the high wall and graffiti all over it and barbed wire on the top of it. flags flying this for this side or that side, and our way to
And we
live.
saw similar things in Israel.
Saw some of that in Israel as well. That's
Yeah.
right. But Easter was great, and Easter is now back there. We still got some
We do
reminders of
have
Easter here, don't
lilies.
we?
We still have the lilies here. So those of you that are watching that are gardeners and would like lilies, otherwise they're going to get pitched. But if you would like to grab some lilies this week, I'll put them in the narthex. You can just ring the bell at the church and come grab some. You can plant them in your yard, and then you'll remember every year.
Yep.
So that would be great. I'll put them this afternoon in the narthex, and you just come and take.
Do you know
I think
that,
there are 50 of them.
Do you know that they work when you plant them in the yard? Have you ever done that?
I have not, which is why I'm offering to others. But I know that Becky has. Same thing with the amaryllis that you get every Christmas, and then
yeah,
they
I've seen them
fade,
do
and you
that,
plant
yeah.
those. Yeah.
Yeah, come and get them. We got them on both campuses. Well, they might not still be there on the historic campus.
We have them on this campus.
But we got them here. Come and help yourself. Take one to a friend, or two, or three, or eight, and cut the top off and put them in the ground.
There you go. The gift that keeps on giving.
Yep. And they spread too, I think.
I think lilies do. Yeah, so multiply. You can multiply
I
them.
took some botany courses. You know,
One summer. He was a gardener one summer. That's an inside joke of all his summer
seriously,
jobs.
In graduate school, I had the opportunity to take some courses in botany. My minor I was education administration, math and biological sciences. Well, I had never done anything with botany stuff before, plants and all that, so I was in the graduate school and shot over there and took a course in aquatic plants. Really interesting. And the aquatic plants, most of them you saw, you looked under the microscope. It was really slick. And then we did drawings. Any of the things that you find there, you could do pen and ink drawings, colored pencil drawings and all that. And I got into that. And then all the different sedges and things around the edges of it. Did that. And then that was aquatic plants. And then I did another one in, I forget the name of it now, but it was an advanced botany course. I had to work on that because I hadn't taken the preliminary botany course. I wasn't an undergrad and all that kind of stuff, but I jumped into it.
Well, then that came in handy later when you were growing crops and stuff.
We didn't study corn and stuff.
You didn't study corn and soybeans and peanuts.
No. These are the things you find in the woods out there.
Yeah.
And you went on these field trips, and gathered specimens and pressed them. We had to make a book of pressed things. Yeah. But if it was a matter of studying something, I could study something and get it. So you don't have to have grown up.
You're always a student.
Mm-hmm. And
Still.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. I really do.
So this past week, your study was on Joshua. You had all your books laid out and reading and prepping. So you've got a sermon this weekend and next week on Joshua 24. And are you doing a teaching on Joshua?
Start next Wednesday.
Oh, really?
Isn't that right?
I haven't put it on the calendar. You might want to give me an update on that. Next Wednesday? It'll be streamed? Okay, so next Wednesday, you learned it here. I tell people, watch Padre's Ponderings because you're going to learn something new every time.
I'm planning to do 4 Wednesday nights on the book of Joshua, on Joshua, on the man. That course is the book.
So Kevin ended with the Exodus, well, with the plagues and the Exodus, and now you're picking up with Joshua leading them into the land?
That's right. And, I'll pick up with I think it's the 23rd chapter of Deuteronomy. Moses dies. And then you have the book of Exodus starts with and, so you got a connector back to that. And the first verses in the book of Exodus are, my servant Moses is dead. So he's the link man between all that. And it's real special. I hope it's going to be a special teaching. I like the book of Joshua. But there's so much in that book. What I'm going to do is have to pull out events.
Oh, yeah.
And talk about specific events that are there. And I can do that. I haven't done it, but I can do it.
Yeah, there's a lot. Be strong and courageous.
Yeah. So I'm doing the reading part of it right now. But I got sidetracked last night. Got a new book on Elijah. I like old Elijah. I've preached on him several times. Got a new book on him. So I lost some time last night. But it was a relief. I've been reading the book that Shannon Bream has written, Women in the Bible, and she has paired up women who are alike, and really it's very, very interesting. So I've been reading through that. I got another couple of chapters to go in that one. That's a pretty easy read there, but got a couple of chapters to go on that, and was looking at, she was comparing the two she had matched up were Rahab was one of them, and Tamar, I think was the other one. But I've preached on Rahab before too. That's a good story as well. But anyway, that's very early in the book of Joshua. So I might hit that in there because it ties in. One of the few things most people know about Joshua is the Battle of Jericho, and she's instrumental in that.
And I think anybody that grew up in Sunday school knows the song. Joshua won the Battle of Jericho, Jericho.
But you know what the words are?
The walls came tumbling down.
Joshua fit the Battle of Jericho.
Those are the real words?
It comes from a spiritual, old spiritual.
Well, we didn't learn that version. He won it. God
So
won it. But
it's just a clipped abbreviation for the word fight or fought. You know, some words don't rhyme, and so you kind of squinch them together. Poets are good.
Do you ever listen to a song on the radio and you're like, that didn't rhyme?
Yeah. Sometimes where they don't rhyme, they just kind of blurt, or they hit the music a little loud, something like that.
So you can't tell?
Yeah, you just kind of gloss over it. It's like when you get into the genealogies. I was listening to a fella sermon, and he was saying that along about when people do read through the Bible in a year, said about February, that's when all those plans come crashing down because people get into Leviticus and all those genealogies and things in there. They said that's when you get into the genealogies, that's where all Bible studies go to die. But he said when you're doing that, people get hung up on how you pronounce it, and he said nobody knows how to pronounce it. You just say it fast and go. And if you're ever reading it out loud, read it with confidence.
Or I'll say, I don't know how to say that, and move just keep rolling.
It's the idea of it. So.
In my last Bible study, we went through that section of a lot of the genealogies in the Old Testament. But it's amazing, though, when you go back and you'll see a name in the genealogy that seems completely insignificant, and then it's in another book because it's in the line of Jesus, and it just seems like why does that person matter? But every person matters, yep. And how it's the pointing.
Tamar's in there, Rahab's in there.
Oh yeah.
Yep. You know, all those, all not just parts of Scripture, but all of Scripture are inspired. They're there for a reason. And I think sometimes some of the most amazing studies I've done is I hit up on things that, what in the world is that in there? And because the story's going along, and then where did that come from? And then you get to be inquisitive, and you start running that rabbit trail down there to see what's going on, and it's amazing. Nothing's wasted about all that. Nothing. Praise God.
I noticed that in the book of Judges when we were going through our Bible study. Like, a judge will get one sentence, and then another judge will get a lot more. But all significant.
There's a judge in that Othniel. Do you remember that name? had a biology teacher once when I was teaching. Judy Winches was her name, and
I
her
remember.
husband, that was her husband's name.
Really?
Only person I ever knew named that. It's not the ordinary name that you would give to your child. But yeah, Judy Winches, she was a really good science teacher. Biology was her big thing.
Very good.
She was lived in St. Matthews, lived out in the middle of nowhere. Her husband was a farmer.
Becky just gave some information about bulbs. Amaryllis are foolproof, but not much luck with Easter lilies, but they do spread.
Well, now, how does that work
Mine just
together?
didn't bloom. They spread but didn't bloom.
So the not much luck means,
They didn't bloom.
okay. Well, maybe I should plant them next time.
Oh, maybe.
Put the old green thumb
Perhaps.
on it. Put the old green thumb on it. Yeah.
Perhaps. I got the email last night from Food Bank, and they have a tremendous need for diapers of all sizes, newborn all the way up to, man, I think diapers go up to like 7 or something now. So we have a huge need this coming week for diapers and wipes. And then there's also other non-perishable food items that we'll send out too. But 144 families were served through the food bank line. And then we have God's Gifts going on at the same time, kind of on the outside patio if the weather's nice. And we had 70 people, so that's almost half of the people that went through the food bank then visited God's Gifts, and they're able to get clothing and housewares and different items for free from the overflow of God's goods inventory. So we had 70 people come in
I
for
think
that.
that's a great idea that, Kim and Pat and all those folks came up with there. Great
And to
idea.
do it at the same time, I think it's
Same
really
time. Oh, yeah.
working out very, very well. And we had 463 bags donated. So thank you so much
Amen.
for that. I was talking to a friend this morning, and she's in agriculture and research. And anyway, she was talking about how much food is just wasted, and not just fresh, but processed food too, is just wasted worldwide. But yet the poverty level's going up, and the amount of people that are hungry are going up. So that's one thing that she's working on. But the amount of food that's wasted. So thank you so much for seeing the need in our community and then helping with that area.
And that's one source of food for the food bank is from Second Helpings,
Yes.
where they go. And then
Harvest.
Frank comes around with the bread on Fridays. Big gift to that. He has independently owned bread. He contracts with places like Sunbeam and Marita and all that, and to deliver the bread. So he delivers and stocks, and they only stay on the shelves for they have a certain amount of time.
Shelf life.
And then he picks up whatever's left over. And they used to be throwing all that stuff away. He brings it to the food bank, and he says there's nothing wrong with it.
Right. That's the thing about the food that's just thrown away is there's nothing wrong with it. It's just
Yeah, you can't tell how old a piece of bread is. You put some butter on it and nuke it for a minute.
I've had a couple of loaves kind of tucked back that I have found that you could tell. You could tell that it had been in there for a while.
When you get the blue color on there,
That's
a clue.
Science project, not to eat.
Let it go.
But
Let it go. You've waited too long.
this past week, registration's open for services this weekend, and you're going to see a change on there. You no longer have to register for Crosspoint service or Cross Kids. So we're doing our best.
10 o'clock at
10:30.
10:30
at Cross Schools campus. We're going to use the bleachers for overflow when the spacing and the seatings meets capacity. So here's the thing. Come early, not 10 minutes after the service starts. Come early.
Do people come 10 minutes after the service starts?
Yes. But you're missing a really good song. So come early so you can mark your spot. And we're putting chairs, like empty chairs between people. And then if we're out of seating, then we'll have the bleachers. But we brought back the high top tables in the back of Cross Point, and it was amazing how many people were like, "I've missed the tables."
But weren't serving any food.
We didn't have coffee or anything, but just seeing things the way they were 14 months ago just made a lot of people smile.
We can't go that way yet for the chapel or historic campus. We just don't have the room for that.
Right. We have the flexibility over there to move chairs and things. Yeah, it's hard to do it with pews. So you still have to register for the chapel and historic campus services, but Cross Point, just come on, and then once we continuously fill that up, then hopefully we'll go back to the 9 o'clock service over there too.
Yep. And I'll be at the historic campus this weekend, and Howard Duff is coming back to be at Grace Time.
Oh, fantastic. Oh, my goodness.
He's been gone for...
He had some surgery, and we were shut down for a while.
Yeah.
And
since it
so
started.
Very nice.
So he's kind of back, a little bit of normalcy there. Yeah.
So the priest won't be wearing vestments. It'll be back to the more casual.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I'll be there and have on like this and a stole. Yep. Now on Sunday we were...
Right, Sunday's different. But, yeah. Well, very nice. Grace Time friends, you're going to be happy this weekend. That'll be a little piece of normal, what we think of as normal, I guess.
Gradually creeping back. And, I'm hoping, I don't know what Beaufort County's going to do. What Bluffton's going to do. Because
we are in the town, both campuses.
Yep, so we have to go by what they're doing, not what the county does. And then what the bishop says for the diocese. So we said, we got these multiple levels in there. And I do believe that once we get out of the mask thing, the social distance and stuff is just going to disappear. I think the big visible thing with people is the mask. Get the mask off. People are going to say, man, we're through with this.
But the thing about the mask is you can still wear one.
Yeah.
It just won't be mandated. So if you want to wear a mask to service, if we go the way of they're not required anymore, people still can.
Oh, yeah. And
so whatever you feel comfortable with, right?
And that's the thing. See, that's what I was fixing to say. As we start moving away from some of the visible symbols of the COVID, we've got the lingering psychological impact of all that. Just like with the school children and all that. When COVID's over with, we've got the impact of all that was lost in this school year in those places where children couldn't be there in person. That's a reality that's going to be there for years. Mm-hmm. Teachers are going to have to be dealing with that. Mm-hmm. It's very hard.
That's true. So it's very quiet over at the school right now because it's spring break.
Because of the golf tournament.
And the golf tournament is this week. That's right.
All the children over there preschool children are there. And,
some preschool children aftercare are there this week, but it's very quiet compared to the almost 600 that are usually in the hallways. So I've gotten a lot done.
That's cold.
No, I love it when they're there. It's actually too quiet. So I have to turn music on, or I leave the door open, hoping somebody's going to pass by and I can say hello.
Did you tell them about the new person we got coming in?
Not yet. We have a new staff member starting on the beginning of May that will be sitting right in the narthex to answer the phone and answer the door and greet people, help out with ministries and a smiling face.
Do some production stuff. Yeah.
So we'll announce who that is soon. But you will see a new face, and when you call, you'll hear a new, very, very friendly voice.
Okay. And when might we know who this is?
Oh, maybe we'll put it in the e-news on Thursday.
Okay. With a picture, maybe.
With a picture.
Okay. That'd be good.
Yeah.
That'll be good.
So lots going on, lots of ministries, or Hal had their first gathering, Healing After Loss, on Sunday afternoon. And that's the first one that they've had since.
I met with a lady today, joined the church. She was there. She said it was amazing.
I know. We have so many ministries that are just
amazing.
Oh, the impact that they have. So that's Healing After Loss. Beverly Adams heads that up, and I talked to her on the phone today, and she was telling me how it felt so good to be back with a small group of people. I think they've got six participants right now. Another ministry that had a big weekend was Stephen Ministry. They did the commissioning at the 10 o'clock service this past Sunday, and have some new Stephen Ministry caregivers. And that's a huge ministry for, oh my goodness, so many different areas in life that we struggle with, and need someone to walk beside you through a season, whether it's infertility or grief or job loss. That's a big one. The effects of the pandemic on just everything, the way we typically do our life.
All confidential, and they've all been through umpteen hours of training.
Lots of hours. I can't remember. It's like 90 hours of training. And they're just there to walk with you and to help with some biblical truths during a season. So that is an area, if you feel like you just want somebody to walk beside you. It doesn't mean there's anything wrong with you or anything like that. But so often we think, no, I'm fine. But having somebody walk with you would be better than fine. So if you want more information about that, even asking about it is confidential. You can send an email to info@thechurchofthecross.net, and I'll forward it to the leadership and get you rolling on that, and get you connected to a caregiver.
Great ministry. We've had that ministry for a long time. And it's really blessed us too. Really has. Praise God.
Yeah. All right. What else you got for us?
You're still sending out the wafers to everybody?
Yes. Miss Bonnie Lynn came in and did the packing of wafers last week. So some of them will be mailed out this week. Sun City gets dropped off. So.
Good.
And the number of that has gone down a little bit because people are back in service. But we still have a lot that we are mailing out. So if you're still interested in receiving, I had a request yesterday. If you're interested in receiving, again, send an email, put it in the comments, or send an email to info@thechurchofthecross.net. So.
And that's something we'll need to keep that going even when COVID's over with, to help the people who are watching us online and aren't anywhere close around or anything like that. That's a way for them to be a part of what's happening. That'll be a great carryover out of the COVID time.
I think so too.
Great carryover.
So, all right. Any parting words of wisdom for us before we?
I got a haircut.
Oh, nice.
Did you get it?
I did last week.
I thought I noticed.
You thought you noticed it?
I thought I noticed something. The sun is. The lights are jumping off. Highlights.
Yes.
That's it. The glare is coming over this way, fogging my glasses up here.
First sign of spring.
First sign of spring is a new dew?
New highlights.
New highlights, yes.
All right, well, be careful driving. The tourists are here this week, and the roads are packed, so be careful driving. But we do hope we'll see you on Sunday in person or online.
Or Saturday evening.
Or Saturday evening for Howard coming back. I'll be there, so I'm excited. I hadn't seen him in so long. So anyway, have a blessed rest of your day, and
Amen.
Go in peace to love and serve the Lord. Thanks be to God.
See you when I see you. Never doubt God's love for you or mine. Blessings.